How is everybody today? And in this video, we are going to be talking about a specific topic, especially with the three characters that you're going to see on screen right now, which is Robin, Ruan Mei, and Sparkle. And I'm 100% sure you already know what we're going to talk about, which is what are the big three in support. Because I think now that I've already made the video previously with my first impressions and the showcase for Robin, I've also talked about Robin beforehand, before we got the content creator server. We ended up talking about how these three are quite literally the completion of Star Wars meta in being the big three of the Harmony class, or the big three in the support class. And I'm going to go into further detail in a quick second. Before I get into that, I have to say two things. One thing, make sure to leave us like, sub, comment, all the different type of stuff. Let me know who your favorite support is, whether it be coming up Robin, or it's Ruan Mei, or if you really love Sparkle, any of these three. And of course, we can just throw her in because I know 100% of y'all are like, where's Bronya? Bronya is off to the side. She's not part of the big three, but she is a really strong contender for being our favorite support since version 1.0 to 1.6 with no other 5-star Harmony. We love to see it. But also, the last thing I do have to preface, the content I'm showing today, which I have to say because we are using Robin in the video today, is from the content creator experience server, and this is not fully indicative of the final product. There may or may not be changes when the full update comes out, so I have to preface that. But going ahead and talking about these three supports, specifically Robin, Ruan Mei, Sparkle, and also not really Bronya. She's not in this particularly in the most fashion, because now we have the premium of premium supports, the top three, the equal slices of every support, which are Robin, Ruan Mei, and Sparkle. And these three all have their own niches that they're going to be fulfilling and dealing with when it comes to all the characters that are going to be in the game, and possibly in the future as well. We may get more harmonies that do some other things, maybe do multiple things at once, with being maybe like a Ruan Mei plus a Sparkle. We'll have to wait and see for when that happens. But at the current moment, for what I see right here, right now, with these three supports, if you have all three of these characters, which I'm not suggesting summoning for all three of these characters, but if you so happen to have all these three characters, you basically got the best in slot support for every team possible that will ever come out in Honkai Star Rail, until some crazy meta shift happens where all these guys are second to none to some other support, which that will be a scary day. But going ahead and talking about each and every specific support that we have at the current moment with these top three, of course we still have some really great ones like the 4-stars like Ting Yun, Hanya, Asta. These characters are absolutely amazing, especially Ting Yun, because we all know how strong she can be when put in the right teams, and especially with all the characters that really like energy, characters like Dan Heng, characters like Argenti, all these other characters. 100% she is by far one of the strongest supports as well with these three. But talking about each and every specific one, now they complete their own niches. Now they are able to be put on the team that they are most suited for, and not stuffed into every team possible when it comes to dual DPS or hyper carry setups. One of the easiest characters to talk about for sure, which we're going to be looking at, is going to be Sparkle 100%, because she is going to be the hyper carry support definitively until a long time, until there's something else that's way stronger than Sparkle. As we may know, Sparkle does have an advanced forward inner skill, which gives an enormous amount of crit to her abilities that allow her to be able to boost one character to the top of the field if you have enough speed, and also to give a nasty amount of crit damage that's going to make hyper carries absolutely love this additional boost of damage. And especially because she's also able to give damage as well from her ultimate. Just overall the really best support when it comes to the hyper carry situation. So for characters like Argenti, especially characters like Dan Heng, Jing Liu, all these characters that are usually by themselves, 100% are going to love Sparkle as much as possible, because this gives them the most boost singled out onto one character. You're not trying to buff the whole team, you're trying to hyper buff that one character. So you have Sparkle, maybe you have someone like Ting Yun, maybe you have someone else on that section that is in the other slot, and then you have your sustain. You are super hyper buffing that one single character to do as much possible damage as you can, and this is where Sparkle is going to shine. Going into the next character, which is going to be Robin, or my bad, I'm jumping the gun super quickly, but it's going to be Ruan Mei. We all know Ruan Mei was the best by far with what she was able to do. She was able to give a nasty amount of stats innately just by existing and having that field on that lasts forever, and she's skill point positive. She hits really hard with her breaks. She has a lot of stuff in her kit that makes her absolutely absurd for a character. But now with the release of Robin, we actually have a character that is basically competing with Ruan Mei, and has kind of shifted Ruan Mei into an even playing field with all of these three characters. Now I think it's time to look at all these three supports and being equal parts of the whole meta, with Sparkle, as I said before, being part of the hyper carry situation where you're trying to hyper buff one single character, while you have someone like Robin who's able to give an advance forward to a lot of these teams, whether it be follow-up, which I did showcase. If you haven't watched that video, make sure to go watch it. It is in my first impressions video, and I honestly had so much fun playing with Robin. But being able to have that advance forward, being able to get that nasty amount of attack boost from her ultimate, her being able to attack, her being able to give the damage boost, giving the crit damage boost on follow-ups. There's a lot of really good teams that are able to get pushed into Robin's situation that allow them to take a lot of benefits from what she's able to provide. Not only with that advance forward, is that something good for the follow-up attack characters, which we know is Robin's best in slot support, because she's able to give so many buffs, including the crit damage dealt buff as well, on top of having all the other buffs that she has. So by far, we know that follow-up is going to be one of those best in slot teams for her. We also have to look at characters like Kafka and Black Swan, because these characters 100%, and I am going to be doing a showcase very soon with these characters, by far benefit a great amount from having Robin on the team. And I know it looks like Ruan Mei would be the best in slot because of the weakness break efficiency, because of the damage boost, because of the speed, all that different type of stuff that she's able to provide, which is a good thing for Dot for the most part. But the thing is that a lot of Kafkas and a lot of Black Swans don't deal with break effect as much as you would want for Ruan Mei to give a good amount of stats towards that. A lot of us run very fast Kafkas to be able to retrigger as fast as possible to get the most amount of dots done. And then same thing with Black Swan. She wants to act as many times as she can while also having a good amount of attack, also having a good amount of effect hit rate to allow her to stack her Arcana as much as possible, because the more Arcana we stack, the more it hits when it's their turn. Especially if you're able to act a little bit faster, you may even get your ult back quicker, which allows you to override that Arcana reset, allowing you to stack Arcana even more, making a massive nuke to happen when the enemy finally gets their turn. So someone like Robin, who's able to give that massive amount of attack boost that we know Dot characters love, the damage boost as well, and the advance forward, that means every time Robin gets to do her ultimate, which we see we've been able to do some nasty damage with being able to give all these buffs up and then giving the advance forward. Once the advance forward happens, guess what? Kafka's able to go ahead, re-trigger more dots. That's even more damage. If the re-trigger dots happens, guess what? Arcana gets frozen. And then Black Swan gets her turn because she got advanced forwarded as well. Arcana gets to stack even more, which makes for some insane nukes for insane damage coming across the board when it comes to the Dot team and what they're able to provide. Same thing with the follow-up team, and even for certain situations like having Jingliu and Blade on the same team, because although Ruan Mei helps a lot with the weakness break efficiency, the damage boost, all the things I already said before, Jingliu and Blade now get to have another action, be able to do more things in their turn to allow them to be able to do more damage. Given the attack boost that Jingliu would love 100%, plus the damage boost, Jingliu's gonna love it. Blade is going to be benefited a lot by the attack boost, but he does get that damage boost, which is really nice overall for Blade, allowing him to not only get one more stack from Jingliu getting advanced forward and using her skill, but same thing with Blade. He gets to use his basic attack after using his skill, and now he gets another stack. That's 2 extra stacks we would have gotten if we didn't get an advance forward, which allows for a little bit more damage coming from both of these teams. So looking at follow-up, looking at Dot, looking at for majority of the dual DPS characters, they're going to by far enjoy Robin a crap ton more when it comes to being a support in the meta. And then for what I said before, Sparkle is going to be the hyper carry situation. So if Sparkle's for hyper carry and Robin is for dual DPS and those type of teams, Dot, follow-up, Jingliu, Blade, all those other characters, what is Ruan Mei for? I think right now, Ruan Mei has the comfortability and the universal application to be put on any team, because as we know, we've already crowned her to be the #1, one of the most broken characters in the game for sure. But now it looks like she is going to finally be placed where she was supposed to from the start, and that is going to be with break characters. As far as we know, when it comes to characters that you're going to be dealing with break, we know that Buhil is coming out with a physical implant, with getting buffs on breaking enemies, and this is going to allow someone like Ruan Mei to 100% be able to incentivize Buhil to break faster with the weakness break efficiency that we do get from her skill. And same thing with her being able to break with her damage, give a damage boost, all that different type of stuff, increase the speed, everything possible that someone that wants to abuse break effect would want. So now we're looking at the top 3 supports and what they're able to do. Sparkle being able to help with hyper carry, being able to omega buff one character to do as much damage as possible. Robin being in the game to be able to help with dual DPS, Dot, follow-up attacks all these other characters with her advanced forward, with her enormous amount of attack boost, and also with the damage that she's going to be doing as well as a support. And then we have Ruan Mei helping with speed, toughness, break efficiency, and also break effect added onto the character, and all the other buffs very reminiscent to something we might see with Boo-Hill. So now I think when you look at Ruan Mei, Sparkle, and Robin, all of these characters fit in their own way to a certain niche, which basically encompasses the entire meta. We have Sparkle hyper carry, we have Robin with dual DPS, dot follow up, all those different type of teams, and now Ruan Mei is going to be where she was supposed to be from the start, but of course we didn't have many characters to deal with it with. Boo-Hill is probably going to come up and be Ruan Mei's best partner. So it's very exciting to see what we might be looking at when it comes to all the supports in the game, especially with these three being able to encompass all of the DPSs, all the different teams coming into the game, and this is a really nice thing to look at. Now, I do want to preface one thing, in that you don't have to get all three of these characters for sure. I know a lot of you may have two characters already, whether it becomes Sparkle and also Ruan Mei and Bronya, Robin, and Ruan Mei, depending on your account, depending on when you join, all the different type of stuff. And I know some of you are looking at this with maybe a Ruan Mei or Sparkle, and you're wondering, do I need Robin? I really wanted to save for Firefly or Jade or any of these other characters. Do I really need that last support? I would love to have a support to be able to basically build any team I want. While that is a luxury and a really good benefit to have to your account, especially to have Robin being able to encompass basically every team if you already have Sparkle and Ruan Mei, one thing that you do have to remember is that there's only two sides to MOC as of now. But there's only two sides to MOC, there's only two sides to Pure Fiction, there's only one team in Simulating Universe. You don't need three supports if it's not 100% needed. If you could already 36-star MOC, if you can already beat floor 12 on a 3-star, you kind of don't need Robin. It's that situation that we have with the sustains, where if you already have sustains that can actually sustain you and keep you alive while giving you fast clears and allowing you to live, being able to do their own type of resources, like it be Fu Xuan or for REHOO or any of these other sustains that are able to keep you alive and provide what they need to do and do their job efficiently, you don't need another sustain. That's why Adventuring was such in a weird position, although being one of the best sustains in the game, didn't need to be pulled on, because if you already have two sustains, there's no reason to pull for it. Same thing with the supports. There's only two teams in the game at the current moment. You still have characters like Ruan Mei, Sparkle, Bronya that are absolutely amazing what they're able to do, and then not forgetting about characters like Hanya, characters like Ting Yun, who are absolutely amazing in their teams as well. So there's so many different aspects when you look at the supports in the game, and if you truly need Robin, which if you already have your two limited sustains or two limited supports, you kind of don't need her. And the same thing as well is with Acheron's release as well being in the game. It even more incentivizes you to not have to pull for so many harmonies, because guess what? This character does not need energy, and this character doesn't use harmony characters. Because why? Because she needs nihility characters. She needs characters like Pella. She needs characters like Silwolf that are able to apply debuffs and allow her to be able to do the things that she does, which allows you to have ample room on the other team of MOC to be able to put all your supports in there, to be able to buff out the perfect way for your team that you're going to be bringing to the other side of MOC. So right now, looking at Robin, looking at Ruan Mei, looking at Sparkle, all three of these characters are going to encompass the full meta of this game. And of course, you're basically coupling up these supports with their best in slot teams, and now I think they're all on the same playing field. I do genuinely believe that with Sparkle, Ruan Mei, and Robin in the game, we now have the big three of supports that are going to be able to encompass everything in this game, and that's just a really good way to look at it, and a really exciting thing to look for, because now I think they're going to go hard on the DPSs, because now we have these sustains to be able, or these supports, I keep mixing these names up, but you'll be able to have these supports to be able to basically fill out every team. And not only that, we still have the addition of characters like Acheron, who are making their own stay in the meta and being able to change the way team builds work. So there's a lot of really exciting stuff happening in Honkai Star Rail, especially with 2.2 with Robin's release. I am going to be showcasing more teams with her to be able to show her power and how strong she is. But other than that, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know what you want to see from Robin so I'm able to test it, possibly make a video out of it, all the different types of stuff. But make sure to leave a like, comment, sub, all the different types of things. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. See you on the next one, and peace.